You walked in one day and said, "Hey, I'd like to speak with the manager," and let's start there. I think this is a great
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so prior to Hoffman Brothers, I worked for a small plumbing contracting company in St. Louis, and they only did new construction and underground utilities. So I had really no experience in the service world. But it was a small company, three employees and the owner, and we knew the owner was getting ready to retire, bought a house in Florida. So the writing was kind of on the wall. And one day, me and the other two guys were sitting outside. We were actually doing all the plumbing for a bakery that was across the street from Hoffman Brothers. And one of them said, "Hey, I wonder what Hoffman Brothers is paying." So a couple of weeks later, I had hair halfway down my back at the time. I was a new construction guy. I shaved my head and I walked into Hoffman Brothers warehouse and I, said I wanted to talk to the plumbing manager. And people were a little confused and they said, "Do I have an appointment?" I said, "No, but I want to talk to them about job opportunities." And they said, "Well, you can apply online." And I said, "Well, no, I'd rather just, meet with them and, talk to them." And so I did get the opportunity to sit down with the two plumbing managers at the time. And had a good conversation with them, and I ended it with, I'm not the smartest guy out there. I definitely don't know it all, but I will work as hard as anyone else you have on your team, and I'm willing to work for free for a week to prove it. And they kind of chuckled and said, "Well, they can't let me work for free for a week, but they'll give me a job." So that's how I got started at Hoffman Brothers.